It's about not being afraid and not being too cautious. You really don't have all the time in the world. Let's try something a little different here. This is not a subject that affects men as much as it affects women, but for me, I guess it does, because I have some hang-ups in the area. I think I always felt like a child prodigy, and then I never did anything. So I don't know if I was deluded and too many people told me I was special, and I wasn't really. Because one thing I've learned is that, I always felt super smart. But, we all have smart elements to us, but I'm not that swift. I miss a lot of stuff. I'm kind of delusional in my own world. Sometimes I'll say things and people will read so many other things into it, and I am just oblivious. This is a whole other subject. What I'm here to talk to you today about is the fact that I'm not aging well. I am, but I'm not dealing with it well at all. And it's been a struggle for some years now because I'm quite old. I tried to identify and get over it, and because of being a guy, I'm in my prime. I grew into myself. But because I accomplished so little in my youth, it's not that I didn't accomplish. I did accomplish things in my youth, but I didn't have a good time. I worked, but I didn't work hard enough. By whose standards? I've touched on this before in other vlogs. At least I did the things that made me happy, and I still do the things that make me happy, and that's the most important thing. But now I'm getting old, and I notice things. Okay, so there's lots of gray hair going on, and I notice my skin is losing elasticity. Sometimes I just see or I move my skin. I'm laying down. I'm in the prime position right now, so don't even. And the lights aren't even on. So I know I'm looking pretty cute right now, but it's not cool. Oh, and another thing about society, it doesn't help that things like this and working in the fashion industry and being paired up with 20-something-year-old girls. I'm old enough to be their father. I could be their grandfather in many cases. It's kind of messed me up. Can I see myself with somebody my own age? I don't know. I don't know if I have anything in common with a woman my own age. Don't get me wrong. I feel tremendously guilty. Things are sinking just like with females my own age. Look, are those wrinkles in my arm? I don't know. Things are sagging and sinking. So it's not okay, but maybe it is. Maybe it is completely science and completely nature, because a man can just go on and procreate while... I don't... I'll end the sentence there. Anyway, that's not the point either. That's not the point. I'm starting to look really old. I should do this at different lighting in different angles. Because you guys are just thinking that. You know when you turn on your phone and the camera's pointing in the wrong direction and then you see yourself? It's not a happy thing when it happens for me. And it's not the same old, bad angle thing. It's whoa, I see a 60-year-old man. It's a problem only because there's so much I didn't do when I was young. I was a late bloomer. I think when you are a late bloomer that you do look younger longer, but it's really catching up to me. But I didn't do anything. I was so afraid because I was always so much younger than everyone else, physically. So I was afraid to try things and do things because I didn't really fit in. And then because of stuff like that, I didn't want to stay in school long. So I didn't work very hard in school, but I worked really hard to get out of school. And I got myself jobs really, really quickly. As much as I was really shy, I could turn on career mode and I could talk with a purpose. If I have a purpose, no problem. I can talk to people. If it's a social situation and it's just small talk, I shut down. I have no idea what to say. I don't think anyone has anything in common with me. This stuff all stems from me being out of place because I went through puberty later than everyone else. And on top of that, because I was so determined to just get out of school and work, I wanted to be in the real world. I didn't do a lot of fun stuff. I didn't have a lot of people my age that were my friends, so I went directly to the adult world. And I was always the youngest person in the room. Something shifted somewhere in there, and one day I ended up being the oldest person in the room. And that's where I am now. I'm always the oldest person. And don't get me wrong, everything's great. The reason for this video is just to work out in my head, why can I come to terms with getting older? Even though it's to my benefit. Being a man my age is one of the best things in society that you can be. It's sexy to be an older man. Right now, I've grown into myself. Saying it, I realize that it's because I couldn't do and I didn't do the things that I wanted to when I was that age. I can't do the same things that I could have done when I was a 20-year-old guy. I did have an okay time. I was just a little too cautious and a little too safe. The one thing that I did right is I always lived passionately, and I did happiness first. You can't go wrong with that. But I didn't have a choice. I would break down if I couldn't be happy. It was never in me not to make myself do what pleasured me. Don't be afraid. And you don't have all the time in the world. You don't know what tomorrow will bring. I fill my days with as many things that bring me pleasure as possible, even if you have to do something that you don't like doing. I've got a lot of things that I have to do that I have put off. Try to balance it out more than I did. And don't be afraid to do things when you're younger. Go out and have some fun, kids. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I love you. I look so good in the dark. I've always been afraid to smile. It's you guys. You guys make it okay for me to smile.